Prince William has finally snapped. Enough is enough. He has told friends he will strip Meghan Markle of the HRH title.
What if the royal family's most rebellious couple just got checkmated by the very system they tried to outsmart?
King Charles is turning a blind eye, but King William won't.
Because right now, something historic is brewing in London. Something so unprecedented, even Buckingham Palace is holding its breath.
I did think it would happen. If Harry and Meghan are watching, they should be incredibly concerned, because if it's this simple to take away Prince Andrew's titles, one day it could be this easy to take away Harry and Meghan's titles.
For years, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have treated royal duty like a Netflix plot twist. Dramatic when it sells, forgotten when it doesn't. They traded tiaras for talk shows, tradition for Hollywood glitz, and loyalty for production deals.
But wanting to exploit their royal titles, I think it stinks. Let them go off and be, celebrities, that's fine. But don't do it in the name of our royal family.
But it seems the spotlight they fought for has finally turned into a burning interrogation lamp. According to insiders, the UK Parliament isn't just gossiping about the Sussexes anymore, it's moving.
Prince Harry, Meghan Markle and their children could be set to lose their royal titles.
Real lawmakers, real legislation, and a very real threat to erase the royal titles that keep the Duke and Duchess brand alive. And the irony? This time, it's not the crown coming for them, it's democracy itself.
Prince William has in the past fortnight seized control of the British monarchy from a weak and dying King Charles, and that spells very bad news for Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, Archie and Lily.
For a couple who once said they wanted freedom, this might be the most expensive taste of it yet. No palace perks, no royal protection, no your grace. Just two former royals with a California zip code and a fading claim to royalty. But here's where it gets brutal, because this isn't just revenge from the throne. This is Parliament stepping in to do what King Charles wouldn't: draw a line. And once that line is crossed, there's no coming back. Because the question now isn't will they lose their titles, it's when.
So trust me, Harry and Meghan right now should be very afraid, because it is a matter of when, not if.
Imagine waking up one morning and realizing the most powerful monarchy on earth just got outplayed by its own parliament. That's exactly what's happening right now in Britain. A quiet storm gathering under Westminster's grand ceilings, where lawmakers are reportedly preparing to do the unthinkable: strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their royal titles. And the best part? They might not even need the king's permission to do it. For centuries, Parliament never dared touch royal privilege. It was sacred, untouchable, beyond politics. But now, the patience of the establishment has snapped like a brittle teacup in a royal scandal.
Terrible news for Harry and Meghan here is that William can now take away everything, their titles, without an act of Parliament.
The road to this political showdown didn't appear overnight. It's been paved by 4 chaotic, headline-chasing years that even Hollywood couldn't script. What began as a royal love story quickly spiraled into a global soap opera. One explosive interview here, a tell-all memoir there, and suddenly the monarchy's family feuds were streaming in 4K. Every time the dust seemed to settle, Harry and Meghan found a new match to light. From accusing the palace of emotional neglect to publicly criticizing the very protocols that once gave them power, their saga became less about change and more about control. And while they claimed to escape royal suffocation, somehow every new deal, documentary, and podcast circled right back to the family name they supposedly left behind. Meanwhile, inside Westminster, patience turned into exhaustion. Lawmakers watched as centuries of royal dignity became late-night comedy material. The tipping point wasn't just scandal fatigue, it was national embarrassment.
They are a danger, honestly. Take this lesson from what Fergie and Andrew have done over the past 3 decades and do not let history repeat.
What began as whispers in back corridors has become an open conversation. If you use your titles for profit while trashing the very institution they come from, why should you keep them? And that's the real twist. This isn't palace drama or family squabbles anymore. This is constitutional vengeance dressed in legal procedure. A growing faction of MPs is pushing a reform bill that could finally separate royal titles from those who treat them like brand merchandise. To them, the monarchy's survival depends on drawing a line, and Harry and Meghan are standing right on it. Behind the polished speeches and respectful deliberations, one question echoes across Parliament's halls. If two people can turn royal legacy into celebrity currency, then what does royal even mean anymore? But what's even more shocking is who inside the palace quietly supports this political uprising, and how deep their fingerprints go.
The HRH is only given to working royals, senior members of the royal family, because it denotes a level of respect in the public, and also it's not a financial thing. Working royals do not profit it. They do not use their names to make money. It's an honor to have an HRH.
To many in government, the monarchy is part of Britain's identity, not a marketing slogan. And the Sussex circus made that identity look fragile. So when murmurs began about stripping their titles, it wasn't about spite, it was about damage control. The public image of the crown had been stretched, mocked, and monetized. And Parliament decided enough was enough. But while the politicians prepare their move, there's one royal figure whose quiet involvement changes everything. While Parliament debates in public, the real chess game might be unfolding behind palace walls, and the quietest player on the board is said to be Prince William himself. Forget the calm smiles and rehearsed royal charm. Insiders whisper that the future king has had enough. After years of headlines dragging the monarchy through the mud, William's patience reportedly cracked long before Parliament's did. Unlike his father, who still hopes for reconciliation, William is said to be running this like a mission. He's building alliances not with courtiers, but with lawmakers who share one goal: protect the crown at any cost. And according to whispers in political circles, he's been far more influential than anyone suspects. Meetings by chance, dinners off record, and strategic silence that speaks louder than any statement. To William, this isn't about revenge, it's about restoration.
Prince William knows that it's not just Andrew and Sarah need to be dealt with. It's Harry, Meghan, Archie, and Lily too.
Every time his brother goes public with another revelation, the image of a steady future king takes another hit. Behind that calm exterior, there's calculation. Remove the distractions, clean the slate, rebuild the monarchy's credibility before he inherits it. But there's a darker undertone here too. Some claim this campaign is personal. Years of betrayal, private texts exposed, family moments weaponized for profit. It all left scars. And this bill, it might be William's way of making sure those scars never define his reign. Because if Parliament moves forward, it won't just be a legal decision, it'll be William's quiet victory. For Meghan Markle, this isn't just a royal scandal, it's a brand crisis. Every magazine cover, luxury partnership, and media headline has revolved around one golden phrase: the Duchess of Sussex. It's not just a title, it's her trademark, her identity, her global calling card. But now, that title sits on a political chopping block, and the woman who once controlled the narrative might finally be losing control. Sources close to her circle describe panic meetings in Montecito, legal advisors, brand consultants, and PR strategists scrambling to rewrite her future. Without Duchess, the elegant royal mystique that sold her image to streaming giants and fashion houses begins to fade.
Like, Meghan, you have a very privileged life.
Yeah.
We all get it. You're beautiful. You married a prince, but that's literally all you've done to when it comes to your accomplishments.
Right.
She's built a billion-dollar persona around the illusion of modern royalty, relatable but regal, outsider yet insider. Take away the title, and what's left? Just Meghan. And that doesn't sell the same way. Behind the curated smiles and motivational speeches, insiders whisper that tension is boiling. Deals tied to her royal identity may suddenly collapse. New ventures may lose their sparkle. Even her humanitarian brand, the one meant to transcend the monarchy, feels shaky without the royal gloss. To her critics, it's poetic justice. To her supporters, it's a witch hunt. But to Meghan herself, it's an existential threat. Because for the first time, her crown isn't slipping, it's being taken. And the only person more desperate to stop it is Harry. Behind the polished PR statements and calm appearances, insiders say Prince Harry is in quiet panic mode. The once rebellious royal who claimed to have found freedom now faces the possibility of losing the very title that made him matter on the global stage. And according to multiple reports, he's not taking it well. Rumors swirl that Harry has made a series of private calls, not through aides or representatives, but personally, reaching out to old palace contacts, even trying to get messages to his father. One insider described him as emotionally cornered, realizing that without Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, his influence in Hollywood shrinks dramatically. The book sales, the interviews, the spotlight, they all dim when he's just another celebrity with royal baggage.
Harry found out at the same moment as the public, and his reaction was instant dread. His stomach dropped. He thought titles were untouchable. Now he's not so sure.
Behind palace gates, even sympathetic royals are said to be uneasy. Stripping children of titles crosses an invisible line, one that blurs family and institution. But make no mistake, if Parliament follows through, Archie and Lilibet's names could vanish from the royal website overnight. And that's when this family drama turns into royal history. In the corridors of Westminster, whispers have turned into strategy. The phrase floating through government briefings is the one bill solution, a single sweeping piece of legislation that could reset the monarchy's entire framework in one decisive strike. And at the top of that list, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Unlike royal protocol, which moves at the speed of tradition, this is politics, fast, ruthless, and irreversible once it's in motion. Insiders describe the bill as a constitutional spring cleaning, designed to modernize royal privileges and, frankly, remove the royal freeloaders. It wouldn't just target Harry and Meghan. It could reclassify multiple royals whose titles no longer align with active service or national representation. Supporters call it accountability. Critics call it sacrilege. But to the lawmakers pushing it forward, this is about protecting the monarchy from itself, about proving that even royal blood isn't above responsibility. What makes this moment so extraordinary is that the monarchy might not even have the power to stop it. Parliament could, for the first time in modern history, overrule royal hesitation. And once that precedent is set, the entire definition of royalty changes forever.
Queen's husband was dying, and she went on Oprah and suggested one or both of them are raging racists. She couldn't have cared less. She doesn't care about anyone other than herself.
What's haunting him most, reportedly, isn't the money or the fame. It's the symbolism. Losing the title means losing the last tangible link to his mother's legacy, to the institution she fought against yet defined his entire life. And for Harry, that's unbearable. Those close to him say he's torn between anger and guilt, anger at being punished for speaking out, and guilt for pushing things too far. But the calls from California might be too late. Parliament isn't the type to be swayed by emotion, because while Harry begs for understanding, lawmakers are preparing to make history, and the consequences won't stop with him. They could reach his children next. While Harry and Meghan fight to keep their own titles, an even more delicate question is unfolding in London. What happens to their children? Archie and Lilibet may be too young to understand royal politics, but their futures are now tangled in it. If Parliament pushes through this reform, the little prince and princess could lose their status before they're even old enough to spell royal. Traditionally, titles are passed down by bloodline, unshakable, sacred, but this new proposal challenges that very foundation. Some lawmakers argue that royal privilege should only apply to those who serve the monarchy, not those who profit from it. And with the Sussex family rooted in California, critics say the kids' royal standing has become symbolic, not earned. It's a heartbreaking irony. Harry once said he left the UK to protect his children from the pressures of royal life, yet now that same choice could erase their royal heritage altogether. For Meghan, it's reportedly the most painful part of all. The idea that her children could grow up stripped of their birthright feels like the ultimate punishment.
Harry and Meghan take their audience for fools. They blame everybody but themselves. They present even the most incendiary of claims with no evidence. And sadly, the impact is real. The royal family is getting damaged. The monarchy is getting tarnished.
This isn't just a bill, it's a message. The monarchy serves the nation, not the other way around. And when you find out who's secretly championing this reform from the shadows, it becomes clear this might already be a done deal. For King Charles, this moment is nothing short of torment. On one side stands the crown, an institution he's waited his entire life to lead, now facing its greatest image crisis in decades. On the other stands his son, the boy who once clung to him at Diana's funeral, now the man threatening to dismantle the family's legacy with every interview and confession. The weight of that contradiction is breaking him from the inside out. Sources close to the palace describe a monarch torn between emotion and obligation. Charles reportedly fears that taking a hard stance will make him look heartless, the cold king punishing his own son and daughter-in-law, a narrative that tabloids would devour. Yet doing nothing risks letting Parliament define royal authority for the first time in modern history. For a man obsessed with preserving the monarchy's dignity, that's unthinkable. Behind the palace gates, meetings stretch late into the night. Advisors urge caution. Others push for action. Charles is caught in a moral storm. Does he defend family or defend the throne? He knows that whichever path he chooses, someone loses faith in him forever. And perhaps the cruelest truth of all, this isn't a battle he can win. Because whether Parliament acts or not, the monarchy's future and his relationship with Harry will never be the same.
Thanks to this historic decision by William, and listen to me, it was by William, not Charles, to strip Andrew of his princely titles and all vestiges of royal privilege.
But as Charles hesitates, the machinery of reform keeps turning. And just like that, the story of Harry and Meghan may be closing its final royal chapter. From wedding bells and palace balconies to lawsuits and political bills, their journey has gone from fairy tale to cautionary tale. What began as a royal rebellion has now turned into a public reckoning. If Parliament follows through, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex could soon be titles of the past, archived, deleted, and replaced by a quiet line in British history books. It's poetic, really. The couple who wanted independence might soon get it in full, but not the way they imagined. No more royal rank, no more shield of status. Just two people facing the world without the institution they once rejected. And for the monarchy, this could be the reset it's been waiting for. But this royal storm isn't over, because while Harry and Meghan face their downfall, another royal couple is now under fire. In our next deep dive, we uncover the shocking reality behind Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson stripped out of everything. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. This is Star Spotlight, and I'm building a new legacy of truth, intrigue, and untold royal drama. For even deeper, unfiltered coverage,